How to solve any problem. We're going to focus on the mindset, the philosophy, and the approach on solving problems because truthfully, running into problems in life is not like a occasional thing. Running into problems in life is a guaranteed all the time situation. So first thing is we want to have a philosophy that knows that problems are to be expected instead of, I hope I don't have any more problems. That won't set you up for success. So you want to have the philosophy problems are to be expected. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop of negative thoughts or like your brain just keeps replaying problems over and over? Maybe you've struggled with rumination. So the real power lies in choosing where to place your focus. The real power lies in choosing where to place the focus of the mind. Why? Because where you place the focus of the mind is what will grow, what will expand. So tonight we're going to explore how intentionally shifting your focus from problems to solutions can dramatically improve your mindset and your overall happiness. Yes, even when you're experiencing some real life big boy problems like chronic health issues or very big financial downturns, whatever it is that you're experiencing, focusing on the solutions, focusing on what you can do is will allow you to expand the things that you focus your mind on. Whereas if we focus our mind on powerlessness, what we cannot do, well, it will expand those things for us. It's important to understand how the brain works. The human brain is actually designed to focus on problems. It's designed to problem solve. So it's a little computer system that automatically is problem solving all throughout your day, all throughout the night. It's always working on a problem, working on a problem. So as you're going through your day and somebody says something to you, your mind starts working on if the thing struck you in the wrong way, if it seemed negative or destructive in any way, your mind starts working on, okay, how do we solve this? And that's what can cause rumination. Your rumination is your mind trying to figure out how to solve an issue, a problem, something that was a negative experience, something that was unpleasant, undesirable, to your detriment. Your mind is trying to figure out how to fix it, how to solve it. That's what rumination is. So your mind doesn't let it go. And you go, why am I still thinking about this? Why do I keep replaying this? It's because you haven't found a solution. It's because you haven't gotten focused on the solution. Your mind is still trying to seek a way to solve the problem. So our minds intentionally shift toward the negatives and shift toward the problems. This is everyone's mind. It's not just because you are a trauma survivor or you have mental illness or something like that. It's the natural course for humans to focus on the thing that needs to be solved. It's normal to focus on the negative. So imagine in more of a survival situation, as our ancestors were, you're going to be living in the woods, in the sticks, in the desert, in the rocks. And so a big giant spider is something that you're going to pay attention to. You're not just going to look at a big giant spider that could be a danger to you and say, huh, I don't care, and just like sit on a rock right next to it and accidentally brush it as you're fixing yourself a sandwich. No, your brain's going to be constantly fixated on this big giant spider until you either get away from it or it goes away from you. This is how the brain is designed. Do you see how that keeps you safe in survival situations? If you notice there's a big lion creeping in the grass, you're not just going to forget about the lion. You're going to be like, keeping in mind there's a very big lion there. So you focus on the thing that's wrong. Why? Well, then you can fix the problem, or eat a you can evade the danger. So your brain is wired to scan for danger. So if you're wondering, why do I ruminate? Why am I so negative? Why? That's normal. That's normal. Uh, what's superior, though, is to learn and train yourself to be able to focus on solutions, to be able to change the focus of your brain. That takes work, that takes effort, and that's where maturity lies, elevating your mindset to being able to be solution focused. Okay. So let's take an example. Think about a time you faced a setback. Did you spend most of your time and energy worrying about the problem, or did you focus on looking for a solution? The last setback you had, were you worried more about the problem or were you focused on the solution? So let's say a man faces a financial setback. So, what focusing on the problem could look like, let's say maybe he lost his job. Focusing on the problem would involve catastrophizing. It's like, oh no, maybe this is going to mean I'm going to lose my house too, and I'm going to be homeless, and I'm going to be on the street, and my wife is going to leave me. Or he could focus on the problem from the standpoint of worrying about other things that could also happen as a repercussion. Maybe I'm going to lose my friends. Maybe I'm going to lose my status. Maybe I'm going to lose my car. Focusing on the problem from the standpoint of all the questions he can't answer right now. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay my car note? How am I going to send money for my children? How am I going to put them through college? So far, we're just focusing on the problem. You can focus on the problem from the standpoint of the past, which is probably even worse because you can't solve any of the past. So you do. So you're thinking, why did this happen to me? Why was I picked out? Is this discrimination? Was I targeted? This isn't fair. This shouldn't have happened to me. And everything about the past, the manager, the job, it's all in the past, right? So, so is any of that ultimately going to be helpful? Not really, not really, no. Especially not focusing on the past. At least if you're asking yourself, how am I going to do this? Your brain could start to focus on solutions, but you really want to be solution focused, solution oriented. If you focus the your mind on the problem, then the problem will actually expand. It will grow. And so, in the case of this guy who's going through the financial setback, if he never gets out of problem focus, here's some of the things that could happen to him. He could become depressed. He could become anxious. The anxiety and the depression could become so bad that it's difficult for him to get up in the morning. Difficult for him to get up in the morning means it's difficult for him to do interviews, to apply for new jobs, difficult to solve the financial crisis that he's in. Doing that and acting in that way could lose the trust and the respect of his wife, which could make her feel unstable and cause her to act in ways that reflect her instability, her lack of trust, which could involve leaving, getting in an emotional affair, cheating, or filing for divorce, or just being in general checked out of the relationship, as he is also checked out of the relationship. Um, he could develop autoimmune disorders as a result of his unchecked depression and his unchecked anxiety as a result. Now he's got medical bills on top of the fact that he was already in a financial crisis and a downturn. Um, do you see the problem? Because he focused his mind on the negative, it just created rumination, which just creates anxiety, depression, mental illness. Does that make sense? And then that triggers emotional, I'm sorry, autoimmune disorders. It triggers flare-ups. It can trigger inflammation. And then his physical health depletes. And then everything really gets worse. He's focusing so much on the problem that he only can see the problem and he keeps going toward the problem. Why did this happen to me? I can't believe they did this to me. He can just keep looping and looping and looping the injustice of what happened. Why would I get cut? I was a really good worker. I did a really good job. This is not fair. He keeps looping and looping, right? All of this is leading us where? To expanding the problem. We're not actually solving the problem. So we have to take a different strategy. Okay. All of that is actually natural. The problem is it doesn't work. Doesn't work. We have to take a different strategy. So what's a different strategy that we can take when we're facing some really big problems like this? Well, in his case, if he takes the strategy of intentionally focusing on the best case scenario, intentionally focusing on what he can do and focusing on what he does have, then he grows the possibility of the best case scenario happening. He grows the possibility of him solving the problem. He grows the things that he has, and he grows his control because he's focusing on what he controls. Did you catch all that? If we focus on the problems get bigger. They feel bigger. If you focus on the solutions, you become more resourceful and therefore resilient. Resilience is your ability to go through the stressful situation, but to come out the same or better. So it's a refusal to be changed by the situation, by the trauma. Okay. So if he has that mindset, what would that look like? Well, it would look like something like this. Hmm. I just lost my job. Hmm. I can see how this could create a lot of problems down the line. I could lose my house. I could lose my spouse. Hmm. It could affect me socially. Hmm. And it was unfair that this happened. But wait a second. Just focusing on all the bad is not going to help. I need to get focused on the good. I need to get focused on what I can do, what the best possible scenario is in this situation, and what I still have. Let me get to writing. She pulls out a notebook and says, "What do I still have? I'm still in a beautiful marriage with beautiful family. I still have my house, so I still have a roof over my head, and I have enough in the bank to last 1 month. And I still have my car, so I still have transportation if I need to find another job. Hmm. Yeah, speaking of that, I can actually use my car to do deliveries, and that could actually bring in at least a little income to kind of help me float, maybe extend that month to a month and a half. And let's see, what can I do? Let's get focused on what I can do. I can make my full-time job looking for a job. I can start getting up really early and right after the gym, just start hitting the computer and applying for jobs. I can reach out to my contacts. I've made a lot of contacts since I've been here in this company. And some of those people who have moved on to other opportunities, I can reach out to them, people that I've known from the past. Hmm. Yeah. In fact, let me make a list of some of my contacts in my network right now. Okay, bam, bam, bam. Okay, awesome. What can I do? I can actually take action and start making some phone calls right now. Actually, yeah. He starts calling down his lists. This man, by the time he gets home to let his wife know the bad news, will already have some sort of solution practically mapped out. And if he doesn't, it'll be cooking. It'll be cooking. This man is more likely to find a job faster. He's going to stay out of too much anxiety, too much depression. He's more likely to expand on what he has. I have this car, I can trade it in, get a cheaper one, or I can sell it, take the money. He's thinking about what he has. He's thinking about what he can control. And then if he focuses on the most beneficial possibility, this makes everything even better. What would be the most beneficial possibility now that I've lost my job? Hmm. Well, that I would find another one that's even better. Wait a second. Holy smokes, this is crazy. I could find a job that's even better than this one. Yeah, I mean, this one wasn't perfect. I mean, it paid the bills, but it wasn't perfect. I've been wanting to move up, and I didn't have the guts to end this position. So now I'm actually forced to go and try to find something that's better. This is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity because I've been wanting to find something better. See how much better he's already presenting it to himself and to his wife? This is an opportunity. Universal secret. Every problem is an opportunity, but you have to find what the opportunity and the problem is. There's a silver lining to every problem. It's an opportunity for something. It will expand something for you. It will open up a door to something for you. Even the really, really bad stuff, when really unfair, very terrible things happen to us that are not supposed to happen to us, I'm not making light of those situations, but they still alter the universe and increase our credibility, our relatability, our reach, our ability to help people. Because now those other people in the universe who have been through that can be helped by you. They will listen to you. They will care what you have to say about that situation, about that problem. Whereas someone else who hasn't gone through it doesn't have the credibility. This is why I rejoice when I get bad news and something goes wrong in my life. I rejoice because now I can really relate to the people that I serve, to my clients, to my community. I can really relate. I can really relate. And I can say I've been through that. I've been through something like that. I can now say I know a little bit about how you feel. I can understand. I can now say that. So it's like, oh, thank you, universe. You're giving me credibility. Thank you. You're allowing me to be just like everyone else because if they have to suffer through it, why don't I? Why don't I? What makes me better? What makes me superior that I don't have to go through what other people will go through? Consider it a joy. Yeah. Consider it a privilege. Turn it into a testimony. I'm reading things in the comment section. You guys are preaching. Yeah. You got to switch the whole mindset. You got to switch your whole mindset. And that's why it helps to start with the right philosophy in the first place. Of course, there's going to be problems. I'm not living in paradise on earth. This isn't nirvana. This isn't heaven. Of course, there's going to be issues. Of course, there's going to be problems. So when you already have that mindset, when you hit the problems, it's like, you know, it's not making you happy, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is to be expected, as opposed to, oh no, not me. Why me? Me a problem? Not me. Can't handle it. Right? If you kept yourself in a general positive mindset, when you hit a bump in the road, when you hit an issue, you're able to handle it emotionally and say, oh, it's too bad. I hit this problem, but that's all right. And then you apply all the same things I was just saying. Why not me? Instead of why me, it's why not me? And I can handle this. And this is an opportunity. Let me find the opportunity in this. Let me find what door this opens. Let me find the way that this makes me more credible, more relatable. Okay, good. This is the only way that you want to approach problems. You want to start with the right philosophy in the first place. And if you're positive minded in the first place, you're able to actually handle the fact that there's a problem. Do you know what happens uh, to a person who's negative minded? A negative minded person can't handle more problems because they're already focused on too many problems. They wake up in the morning and they're, stub my toe. Oh, why me? Oh, of course, someone left the cap off the toothpaste. Of course, this would happen to me. Oh, great, there's no more milk in the refrigerator. Oh, slams the door to his refrigerator. Oh, great, now my refrigerator's broken. Of course, this would happen to me. Oh, my car is parked so far away. The parking here is so bad. And then they get in the car, and then now when they actually get a real problem, how are they going to be able to handle it? Emotionally, they can't take it. So now they found out that they lose their job, and they're just they can't physically take it on because their system was already so depleted. They weren't built for it. They had no philosophy to be able to face this real life, but also everyday problem. So keep yourself in a general positive mindset. How do you do that? Focus on gratitude. Should be gratitude, no expectations. No expectations. I'm awake this morning. Wow, that's fantastic. There's some toothpaste left in this bottle that has no cap. Fantastic. There's not milk, but there's water coming out of my faucet. Fantastic. There's also a convenience store on the way to work. Fantastic. Wow, my car's working. Amazing. 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 Everything's amazing. It's really a miracle. When you focus on that level of gratitude and then you get the bad news, you go, oh, wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me know about this. And then you'll be like my buddy. You remember me telling you the story of a friend that I had? Man, he was really poor and he had two girls, two beautiful girls at home. And he had his wife and he was working as a furniture salesman. And man, he was in some rough times. He was on commission 100%. And stop me if I already told you the story, but he's 100% on commission and he's going months without making a sale. I mean, no money coming in whatsoever. Bills are piling up, right? Finally, one day, I don't know if he prayed or what, but he got this really big sale and he saw it as an answer to a prayer. And the sale was like for $100,000. He figured on a 10% commission, he should be seeing around $10,000 coming in off the sale for him. He was so glad. He knew exactly what he was going to be paying off, how he was going to get back out of the hole and get back in a good place with this commission check. Finally came time to collect the commission check from his boss. He goes into his boss. His boss gives him the envelope. He opens the envelope. The check was for $2,000. Do you know how it feels to receive two when you expected 10? Mm. When you needed 10, when you've been relying on 10, hoping for 10, and you know what he says to his boss? Well, first he asks, like, what's the deal here? Like, I thought I was supposed to get more, but his boss just made a bunch of excuses. Oh, well, the cost of this and the cost of that, and I take this out of your check and that out of your check. And when he realized he wasn't getting anywhere with the boss, this is what he said. He said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you very much. I will never allow someone to put me in a position like this again. I will never allow anyone to do this to me again. And he walked out of that job. He quit that very day and he went on to start his own business. And he never let anyone put him in that position again. Once he had his business, he was much more secure and he was able to take care of his family. I ended up doing some work with him. It was a happy story, but his mindset, it's perfect for the situation. That's resilience. Thank you very much. I'm fired from the job. Thank you very much. Because now I'm probably going to move on to do something bigger, to get something better. Let's say we were faced with a difficult conversation coming up. Instead of fixating on what if they get mad? What if I don't know what to say? What if I stutter? All the worst case scenarios. Focus on what can I do? How can I communicate clearly and effectively? How can I prepare for this ahead of time? What would be the best case scenario? Does that make sense? So we don't want to focus anymore on the worst case scenario. Understand your mind's going to automatically do that. Don't be surprised. That rumination is survival mechanism inside your brain. It's trying to solve a problem, but you need to step in and you need to take control. What are some things you can do? You can ask empowering questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You can say, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Okay. Let's say you get a health diagnosis. It's not good. Doctor says, you have this, there's no cure. Instead of going into the, why is this happening to me? No. What can I do right now to improve the situation, to improve my well-being? Right? What's the positive prognosis? What's the possibilities for me to be able to survive this? You don't focus on the 10% death ratio. Focus on 90% are able to survive this. A certain amount have gone into remission. I want to talk about those people. Who went into remission with this? Who is able to get over this and overcome this? I want to learn about them. I want to reach out to them. I want to read what they wrote. I want to focus on the best possible case scenario. You lay down at nighttime, and when you're praying and you're meditating, it's best possible case scenario. This thing goes into remission. Let me focus and allow all of my energy to be relaxed so that all the energy can help the immune system to target that one specific problem in my body, to reduce the inflammation, to reduce the pain that I'm experiencing. So now we're channeling, we're focused, the meditation, everything in the right area, helping the immune system. We're optimizing the immune system by staying low stress. By being positive, we're keeping ourselves out of depression. Hey, I'm going to be beating this illness pretty soon. I'll be beating this. Every day, we should use delusional optimism. In the case of the chronic diagnosis that you receive, your delusional optimism is, I'm really looking forward to beating this. I could possibly overcome this, or I could at least reduce it and get to a very good state of well-being, or put this thing into remission. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do all the exercise necessary and eat all the right foods necessary because I can, because I have that ability. I can control my diet. I can control my actions. I can control my exercise. I can control my mindset. I can do my meditation. I can go to the Monday night Mindset Monday every week to get that little boost in the arm. I can go to the Wednesday CPTSD healing group discussions every week. I can watch one of Roman's videos every week. I can do this. You'll be surprised what's possible. Delusional optimism? I don't want to be delusional. The truth of the matter is, when you tell yourself negative stories, it's delusion anyway. When you tell yourself the worst thing that could happen, the worst possible case scenario, you're already being delusional. So you might as well do it and use delusion in a way that's going to help you. It's going to be beneficial to you. Questions are powerful because they direct your brain to search for answers. So instead of asking like, why me? And why did this happen? And um, how did this happen? Like we keep going back to the past. Like, what did I do wrong? You go through a breakup or something like that, problems in the relationship. Where did I go wrong? Instead of asking that, ask yourself more propitious questions. Why am I going to be better than ever now that this relationship is broken up? Why is this diagnosis going to lead me to an outcome that's going to be beneficial for me and others? Why am I going to be a wild success despite losing my job? Ask yourself more propitious questions. Also, focus on what you can control. One of the first things you should do when you encounter a problem is make a list. Two sides. First side, everything that you can't control. Second side, everything that you can control. This is very important. Write down a list of all the things you can't control. It takes less than 5 minutes to do this, and it will make you feel so much better. Once you got it organized, you'll realize there's a few things that you actually can control. There's a bunch of things you can't control, and you were focusing too much on the things you can't control. So literally cross them out so that your brain sees, oh, we're not worried about these because you can't control them. So there's no point on worrying about them. And then focus over here on the right side of the list of the things you can control and circle each item, the things I can control. I can go out, I can research, I can find the medication, I can contact people, I can search for new jobs, I can exercise, focus on what you can control. You'll realize that with only 24 hours in a day, 15 awake, or productive, I mean, there's only so much you can actually do anyway. So focusing on stuff you can't control is a total waste of your time and energy. So hopefully this talk today has helped you to be able to develop the mindset so that you can face any problem. We want to make sure our focus is intentional on the solutions, on the best case scenario, on what we can control and what we do have. And if you do that, that's what will expand.